All right. Hey, hey, hey. Well, kind of like back on the scene again. Wow, it's been a long time. It's been like what, since 2019 or was it 2020? Anyway, it's been a while since I've been back on this channel or this tube, so to speak. And I don't know. I'm really surprised that the subscribers that's on here is there's still over 1,000 people. I guess they just never wanted to delete um or unsubscribe or whatever, and I hadn't had any videos on here for the past what, 4 or 5 years or so. As a matter of fact, YouTube sent me a email recently too, saying that they're gonna delete my account if I don't log back in because I haven't logged in what, 2 or 3 years or whatever it was, I guess. I was like, oh really? It's like that, huh? Okay. Anyway, but one the reasons why I did, maybe some of you, if you heard me before in the past, you already know why I chose to get off YouTube because at the time, in the last 4 years, it's been really, really crazy and hectic, with censorship and censoring people, and you're talking about facts, and none of my videos contain anything vulgar or bad or just what the things that you see on YouTube now. I mean, it just it's just incredible. And I never talked about anything bad or nasty or disgusting or degrading, not even cursing. I didn't even curse, not let alone talking about anything sexually explicit or immoral, anything like that, especially not immoral or whatever. But the fact remains is that I decided to jump back on anyway, especially since I decided to check out the scene a little bit, since I was gonna log back in because of YouTube said that, oh, if you don't log back in, this such and such time, then your account is gonna be deleted forever. And I was like, oh yeah, I didn't log in like 2 or 3 years or so now, right? And when I first started on YouTube, it was like maybe 2009 or 2000, maybe 2011. I forgot when it was when I even first got the YouTube account. And then I decided to put a few videos on, just talking about things in general, real stuff, real things that's been happening. I mostly talked about the Philippines and things because I love the Philippines, and most people know I have a Philippine wife, Oriental Asian wife, a Filipino wife. So most people know that too. And I was really giving some really good information. Then I started talking about other topics like things that goes on around the place, things that goes on in everyday life. And I'm gonna still talk about things that goes on in everyday life because I consider myself to be a true realist. A true realist. Yeah. I consider myself to be a realistic person who talk about realistic things and nothing bad. I just talk about things that may have happened bad, but I don't say bad things. So even when I'm describing something that's bad, it's going to be in a more respectable way. I always have done that. But for some reason, at the time when I took all my videos off, it's because YouTube kind of like struck down one of my videos. And because maybe some people complain because I touch a nerve, maybe I touched their nerve some kind of way because I think it was because I was talking about homosexuality or something, right? Because when you look around, look at all this crazy stuff. They call it woke this, woke that, CRT, critical race theory, and so forth, and so on and so on, right? But my thing was I did get a little bit more into it because it's a fact. Read the Bible, Leviticus. Um, you know, it's just a true fact. And when they try to put, homosexuality on the same scale as race or, ethnicity or whatever, there is no comparison. You know, the so-called alternative lifestyle is a choice. That is a choice. You're not born that way. And when they're trying to make people's kids in school, trying to teach them to say, hey, if you really want to be a boy and you're a girl, you can do this or do that. If you're a girl, if you really think you should be a boy, then this is what you can do. And it's going against what the parents want. And I mean, it's just wrong. You can't do stuff like that. And so now measures have been put in place to put a stop to all that sick nonsense, right? It's ridiculous. It's just crazy, insane. And not only that though. Plus, there are some other measures that the administration was taking place, put in place, that is, to override or regulate these big tech, so-called tech giants, on social media, for instance, right, like YouTube or Facebook and so on. So therefore, and Twitter, which is now X, but plus Elon Musk has control of that. Boy, they really had a fit about that one. But also with the YouTube, you know, they have, you know, kind of like backed up a little bit, I guess, because the measures, the governmental, like, the governing regulations that are put in place about, the First Amendment, freedom of speech and as well as freedom of a religion, but that's the First Amendment, so you can speak freely and look at the bad things that they say. I didn't say anything bad, but yet that one particular video was striking, and so I got a little bent up about it, and so I took all my videos off because YouTube was making money off my videos because I only made a few $100 anyway, and YouTube was making all the real money, So I was like, hey, what the heck with that? I'm doing them a bigger favor than they're doing me. They're not doing me a favor. I'm doing them a favor, making YouTube richer like everybody else that's on social media, on YouTube, or what they call YouTubers now. They call them now, a quick way to fame and fortune, so to speak. You can, every time you look at a video now, it's full of ads. You can't even look at the video without seeing ads. You have to skip past the ads, do the best you can just so you can hear the content of the people that's actually talking or whatever, right? And then at the same time, you got people always begging, like, hey, subscribe to my channel, subscribe, please subscribe, hit that button, hit that like button. Oh, whatever, man. If you like what you like what you like, and that's that. I'm not gonna tell nobody to hit nothing or subscribe to nothing. I'm here to talk about real facts and reality, and that's what I'm going to start talking more about because some things have happened in the past few years. And in these few years, things that I've gone through that many, many other people are going through, black or white, or Hispanic, Asian, Indian, or whatever. But especially people who are just regular hard-working people who go to a job, and then sometimes you got to put up with stuff, whether you're black or white. It don't matter, man. Discrimination comes in all kinds of shapes and forms, and these certain employers think that they can do what they want because they was cherry picking because other measures were not put in place that are being put in place now to put a stop to all of these so-called illegal aliens that has been coming here taking jobs from Americans, whether they're black or white, black or white in America. If you're a real American citizen, you had it hard because illegal aliens was getting all the benefits and stepping on everybody because they were allowed to do so, especially by the past administration. But that's over now. Yeah, it is over. you know. So like I said, I'm just gonna start talking about real life stuff. That's just mainly it. Things that happen and the things that have happened to me, I'm going to be able to share some things with other people so they can watch out for things, like especially when you're dealing with employers and things like that. So I'll talk more about that stuff later too. Right now, this is like a reintroduction in a sense, like me coming back on the scene and see how this. I'll just see how it goes this time, and hopefully I might make a difference. I made a little bit of a difference last time when I did this. This time maybe I might make an even bigger difference, because wow, things have changed so much, man. I mean, my gosh, you look at YouTube, it's like people live on YouTube now. Like people have really advanced and progressed. Like, man, it's like so many people and so many videos and things. I'm like, oh my goodness, So I'm not in no competition. I'm not worried about that. I'm just here to talk about, and I'm going to talk about the things that I feel is necessary to talk about everyday life, and that's going to be my thing. It's like a slogan in a sense, right? you know, or it won't be a philosophy, but it would be just something that I am going to, you know, kind of like touch on more, if anything. So, other than that, um, I'm getting kind of hungry, so it is late. It's like what today is September the 9th, 2025, and it's nighttime. Let's see what time it is. Uh, oh, shoot, I didn't turn it. Oh, anyway, forgot. So 10:40. 10:40. Wow, it is getting late. So anyway, I gotta get me some food, man. So again, one bobcat for you to see right here. One bobcat for you to see right here. I'm back, and I'm not going nowhere this time around. I guess So other than that, I think that should be it right now. So I'm gonna see how this turns out. Let me see. About what 10 minutes now? All right, y'all. Catch y'all later.